Okay, what's up, everybody? The Iceman here on the Iceman V2013 YouTube channel on this Wednesday night. We're like a half hour away from NXT. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on. Talking about WrestleMania and the aftermath and whatnot, and the WWE really ticked off at a London Blaze. Um, you know, some of the things were she mentioned Eric Bischoff and other things was, they said her language got out of hand. I didn't think so. I think she spoke how she felt. It was an emotional night for her. Um, and this is the bottom line. When you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, you're going to be an emotional, and you may say things that maybe you might, if you thought about it, you may not have said, but I think her speech was great. As far as Kevin Nash goes, uh, they wanted to induct him as Diesel, and Nash had stated basically, you know, when I was Diesel in the WWE, me being a champion really got nowhere. The fans didn't really care. And plus the fact, too, him being Kevin Nash in WCW. He basically talked about guaranteed contracts because they got huge contracts with WCW, and I think Vince McMahon didn't like this situation as well. But you know something, the bottom line is it's water under the bridge. Some of these reactions by the WWE sometimes makes you wonder, what are you whining about? I mean, really. Um, the WrestleMania 31 did great. Was it the best show in history? No, I wouldn't say so. I would go back into the middle of the WrestleManias and probably pick and choose something out of there. But it was a good show, and I'm not going to take that away. But the WWE is claiming that it was the biggest grossing WrestleMania of all time. I would really like to see the figures on paper because I don't know. I will say this though: the Sting Triple H match was one of the best matches I've seen on WrestleMania in a very, very long time for the simple fact that NWO and DX were involved in this match. Um, this coming Friday on TNA Impact Wrestling, it's the show called Bell to Bell. We're gonna see three extraordinary matches. Bobby Roode and Eric Young, and yeah, I know people are gonna say, how many times have we seen this? This is going to be the match that's going to end it between these two. I think it's gonna go all out in this match. Um, who wins it? Your guess is as good as mine. If I were to choose, it would probably be Bobby Roode. But then again, with Eric Young in his affiliation with the Beatdown Clan, one never knows. And then we have the Bram and Magnus. Um, yeah, you know, this one, you know, would lead you to believe that Magnus would get the better of Bram, but I think he has gotten really the best of Bram as of late. Um, I don't think this feud's going to end. And I think something's going to involve Mickey James, and it's going to extend this feud even a bit longer. And this is why I wish TNA had pay-per-views because it could culminate and sort of end at a pay-per-view. But I like what's going on there as well. And we're going to see the rematch with Bobby Lashley against Kurt Angle, the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I don't see this match coming out as a very clean match whatsoever. I do feel there's going to be some sort of interference because let's face it, um, Rude, Eric Young, um, Austin Aries, Mr. Anderson, they're all like giving a hint of an idea that, you know, and Ethan Carter the third as well, giving this hint that, you know, one of them are gonna get the TNA World Heavyweight Belt from Kurt Angle. So, that could be another interesting thing as well. So, uh, yeah, it's April Fool's Day. It's one of those days, and I woke up feeling a lot better today. At first, I felt a little sick. I was under the weather yesterday. My throat, I felt nauseous and whatnot. But tonight we got Lucha Underground and NXT, and then tomorrow, of course, we have SmackDown, and then Friday. If people want to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, they can watch that, or they can watch TNA Impact Wrestling, which you know TNA is making a lot of leaps and bounds as of late to try to improve their exposure all around the world. Recently, with the Fight Network in Canada, a network in Brazil, and they've expanded overseas as well. And it's just been all pluses for TNA Impact Wrestling. And I will say this about Dixie Carter. You know, she has worked with a lot of wrestlers that have come to her company. And unfortunately, I do honestly think sometimes a lot of these stars come there because they're not wanted in the bigger promotion. So they make a pit stop at TNA, and Dixie welcomes them with open arms. But then when their contract runs out, they decide to jump ship. And I think this is where she needs to rethink sometimes. Don't just take anybody that wants to come to that company. Try to find out what their goals are, and what they want to do within that company, and try to make sure that well, we're gonna give you an opportunity to come here with us, but are you gonna stick with us or not? You need to find out these things. She was very what's the word? She congratulated Kevin Nash on his Hall of Fame induction, and this is what I mean about Dixie Carter. She is a classy lady, um, and you can't take that away from her. Does she have the greatest wrestling business mind in the world? I'm not so sure of. I don't know. I don't know her, um, but I think down the road she's gotten a lot of bad advice, and this is part of the reasons why she's lost some of the superstars that she did lose. But she's always said that the door is always open for everybody. If they want to come back, people like Kazarian Daniels, um, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and whatnot. And she would also open her door for Sting after his run with WWE is over with. And to be quite honest with you, if you don't think Sting would come back after a WWE run, think about it. Sting just can't get away from the wrestling business. He's like Ric Flair and he's like Hulk Hogan. The only thing about Sting is Sting's got a lot of talent still to deliver. He's very still well physically. He still has a lot to offer in the world of professional wrestling. So, but anyway, um, here we are on a Wednesday, and we're on the Iceman's V2013 YouTube channel, and let's see what tomorrow brings, everybody. So anyhow, just wanted to give you a little bit of my thoughts and my opinions on this April Fool's Day. Peace out, everybody. Everybody have a great night.